don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
And New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a mad lead. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
2nd and 5 now. Stafford. This one caught by Davis. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check out.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 20-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Throwing on 2nd down. Stafford got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. On 4th down, Stafford. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And got a man, it's Woods. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the delay, Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss only in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now, because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him, because he's disrupting everything.
Wentz going to throw. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 30 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Brooks Reed, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2, as they got it with a second down coming up. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So in the Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 27.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Watch the twist. Watch the... Hey, easy.
This is Freeman. And fights through one man. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, let blow. Hurry up.
From the 50, Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now it's Freeman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Devontae Freeman, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there, so that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use it? Timeout.
They don't want it. Keep playing.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So we have, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
A shotgun snap for Stanford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer, and his guys are going to take. Take over at the 39-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Complete to Hilton. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And it's caught. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line,